Hi everyone, I'm David Wrights and I'm the Chairman of Indrasync. I'm coming to you today from a great point in the company's development and growth. From a product and technical perspective, we've achieved some good milestones in the last few months. We've got working product, we've got product going to market, we've got sites that are now coming online with Indrasync. We've got, from a marketing and management perspective, we've got some awesome milestones happening there. My team is just fantastic. Obviously, a lot of you will already know about Slav being the original inventor of the technology. Slav is our Chief Technical Officer. We've got Michael Fennick. He's our Chief Operating Officer, and Michael, as you know, also has a vast experience in lighting control. And now we've got, and of course Neil Schubert. Neil Schubert is our Chief Financial Officer, as CFO. And last but not least is certainly, I want to talk about Mark Bloom, and Mark's our new CEO. Mark has some awesome runs on the board. Mark has been involved with some great startups that have grown into very large telcos and managed service industries. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce you to Mark, and Mark's going to come and talk to you about where we're at the moment and what we've achieved in the last few months. And I'll be back a bit later to talk about investment opportunity. So Mark, if you'd like to join us.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Mark, I'll leave you with it.
All right. As Dave said, look, it really is an exciting time to be part of Indrasync and to be leading the team moving forward. Just another bit of background, Dave spoke about my role in a number of carriers such as AAPT, but most recently I have been working at Cisco, where we set up innovation centres within Australia. And in that role, that's where I got introduced to Indrasync, the Indrasync technology, and I was so excited by it, I decided that I wanted to join this business. Since joining it, I am even more excited because we really are now kicking some goals, and I can see this being a huge business. Look, let me give you just a little bit of background, and then we'll go into what we've been achieving over the last few months. So, firstly, as the background, I think most people are pretty familiar with home automation. So that's where you've got your Google or your Amazon Alexa, and that controls the lights and the blinds and the locks within a house. So that home automation is pretty well understood and is really taking off. What we're targeting is commercial automation. So how we can bring that to the commercial building and industrial space. And what's very interesting is those home automation technologies just do not scale. And that's quite surprising, but the wireless technologies that are available today, with the exception of our Indrasync technology, will not scale so that you can manage, say, a whole floor plate within a building. So that opens up tremendous opportunities. So today, the market for commercial automation is almost all wired. What we're doing is we are going to replace those wires with our wireless technology. Just in the first market that we're targeting, which is the lighting market, that is a $12 billion market globally. So just the lighting control business is a $12 billion market. And there are many other opportunities that we're going to be targeting that go well beyond lighting control. So why are we doing the lighting control? So firstly, it's a big market. Secondly, there are well-established products there in the wired space. So our customers are very familiar with lighting control. There's a huge demand to make that wireless. Huge. Why is it so big? Well, one, it makes things more flexible. We are lower cost. And one of the biggest opportunities that we have is what's called the retrofit market. So one, you deploy lighting control in a new building, what's called a greenfield site. You can put wired control out there, although it's costly and not very flexible. But when it comes to upgrading a building, really people are not putting in lighting control because of the disruption and because of the cost. We can change that with our wireless solution. How do we know that? Because we're working closely with both the equipment suppliers and the people that buy the solutions, the building managers, owners and facilities managers. So what we're doing from a market perspective is we are working on a push-pull market. What does that mean? The push is coming from the equipment vendors. They want to get their product into these retrofits, into these buildings, and they know that the way that they're going to get more volume is via a wireless solution. So they're looking to Indrasync to provide that. From the pull perspective, the building owners and managers want it because it gives them lower cost, greater flexibility, and the ability to implement these important features for their tenants to get the right control and environment in an existing building space. So we are working with those building owners and also the consultants and architects. Consultants and architects love it because they can continue to use their same lights that they were using before, their same software. All we are doing, and Slav will show you this in a moment, all we're doing is replacing the wires. They still use the same sensors and the same software. Now, I say all, but that all is huge. And so the consultants and architects are very interested in doing that because of the advantages that offers, and it simplifies their design. So we're getting great traction at the moment with both the equipment suppliers and the installers and equipment providers that are out there. I'd also like to give you just a quick update when I say we're getting traction, that we've already got our first sales coming on board for this, which is a very exciting thing for a new startup to already have some important sales with major brands. One of the major brands I'm talking about is a small company called Cisco. We've not just had our first order, we've just recently got our second order from Cisco, 2 separate buildings. We are deploying at Curtin University, and we heard yesterday that we are likely to deploy at an additional university, which is also very exciting. And in addition to that, we've got an order from a recently listed company for their factory and warehouse. So there's some very exciting opportunities where that proves our technology and the growth opportunities with it. So at that point, let me introduce Slav Zinger, our CTO, and Slav can show you the technology that we've already delivered and have available and are deploying as we speak. Slav.
So as Mark mentioned, we're moving from an existing wired dial installation. So in existing wired dial installation, you would have your wire going to one light, to another light, to another light, coming back to the controller. In this case, what we have here is a wireless system. So this little box is our Indrasync wireless dial interface, and basically all it is 2 control wires coming out of the box. You can see there's no wires between this box and this box apart from the power. In here we've got standard DALI. DALI is a most popular standard for wired lighting control. So here we've got absolute standard Schneider, in this case switches and a sensor. And here we've got another light, and over there we've got a DALI enabled color temperature changing light. So what you will see here is I've just triggered the PIR sensor and it wirelessly turns the lights on. And it also triggered the switch, and we can turn the switch and turn the lights off. Important for lighting is latency. You don't want to be able to you don't want to turn the switch and wait 5 seconds to light to come on. So that's exactly what you see here. You press the button, light goes off as if it's a wired system with the same latency. We've also integrated our wireless system with Amazon Alexa and Google Home, and we can say, Alexa, turn living room lights on.
Okay.
And you can see the living room lights turned on. Alexa, set living room lights to cool white.
Okay.
And then a white. Alexa, turn living room lights off.
Okay.
In addition to lighting opportunity, as Mark mentioned, we're also looking at other opportunities like building management system and asset tracking. And in reality, lighting control is a first step, and it's basically a Trojan horse into all these other markets, which are huge markets. Lighting control, asset tracking, for example. Once we've got our wireless light, each light basically becomes a beacon. And with a very simple chip tag, you can basically micro-locate all your assets without any additional infrastructure, because the infrastructure is already there, it's in the light. Similar to what we're doing with wireless DALI, our next product is going to be wireless BACnet, which is a most popular wired protocol for building management system, where we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're just going to replace the wire in existing building management system. So that's a little presentation shows you the real product and how it all works. Back to Mark.
Yeah. So you can see we've got the real product that we're deploying right now, and that while lighting control is our first step, there are a number of other products that we have on our roadmap, which means we have a tremendous opportunity out there. We're working with a number of the very large global providers out there. One example that Slav spoke about was Schneider Electric. So they're very keen to integrate our product with theirs so that they can take that further to market. Now, we may be an Australian company, but we have very much global ambitions. So what we're doing here, we will be able to take globally exactly the same way. We're looking at a very a business-to-business market, which is highly scalable, which means that we can grow from Australia, take it globally at fairly low incremental costs, which is very important to us, which means that as we grow that business, our margins will continue to improve. So, as I said, really excited about the opportunities and looking forward to taking this forward. Maybe pass back to Dave to talk about the investment opportunities.
So, you've heard about our progress and the market opportunity. You've seen Slav demonstrate our wireless DALI lighting control, and you've heard about the product development opportunity to develop well beyond just lighting control. You've heard from Mark about our plans to become a global player in a $12 billion market. So where we're at now is commercialization, and we need to raise $2 million, and we're going to do that at 12.5 cents per share. And so with your help, we can realize these amazing opportunities that sit before us now. So thanks for your time, thanks for listening, and we look forward to bringing you future updates shortly. Bye for now.